Hey, hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. Uh, I trust you guys are amazing. It's wonderful that you're here with me. I'm Jean Nolan. Thank you for tuning in. And this has been an inspired topic that we want to talk about today. But before we do all of that, before we go into today's topic, before we talk about what is really important, let us also remember a mantra that we've been using for so many live streams, and that is we're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. It's really, really important. And what are these sentences? What do they really mean? One thing, and we're going to get into that a little later more, but one thing that's really important to understand: every time we say I am, we're actually speaking with the words of creation. I am is truly the mantra for the creator. So I'm healthy, wealthy, whole, and free. It's really important that we remember that every time we say I am, whatever follows afterwards has tremendous power. One thing that Christine and I have been talking about a lot in the past days is what makes us actually powerful, thriving, what helps us no matter what's going on in the world, and what doesn't. And something that Christine said so profoundly, and she's been saying this to me for decades now, is what really triggered this live stream. But first, let me welcome you all on YouTube. Let me welcome you all on Rumble. Thank you for tuning in. Please hop over to Rumble. If you are on YouTube, we put the link in the YouTube video description. And the reason why we ask you to do that is because we might not do it today, turn off the live stream midway through, but so often I feel like I have to bite my tongue because of what is or isn't allowed on YouTube, and well, what will or will not get us banned. So we really want to put this out in the most open way. Rumble locals are really wonderful ways for us to do this. The second thing is that our distribution factor on YouTube has simply gone down on live streams because it's harder to control what we say while we're live. But let's dive into it. What is the one thing that will make the biggest difference between you suffering or you thriving? And what do I mean by suffering? We suffer on many levels. We can suffer. We're capable of that. We can suffer emotionally, physically, spiritually, and on all three levels at the same time also. But there's two kinds of people in this world, really two groups of people. You can classify these. The first group is defined by their circumstances, people who are defined by their circumstances. And then the second group, this looks funny here today. I gotta put, there's so much hair right now, I'm letting it grow out. So the first group is defined by their circumstances. The second group of people defines their circumstances. So one word makes all the difference. There are people who are defined by their circumstances, or people who define their circumstances. And what do I mean by that? Again, I don't want to talk in riddles here. We are at this crossroads in our human history, in the history of mankind. We're at this pivotal moment. And what we see is people who make certain decisions and choices right now, they thrive beyond their wildest dreams, even though chaos is around us, even though politics seems to be in the worst place it could be, even though we've gone through 2.5 years of this huge paradigm shift where there's now um, open dictatorships, if you will, or absolute systems, stuff like that. We see this. We see the economy. We see inflation. We see the systemic breakdown. We talk about this, the Great Reset. But what is really important for us all to understand is that we still, at no point, ever see ourselves as victims. And this is the gist of it all. The society teaches us to be victims. It says, oh, poor you because you grew up like this, or poor you because you experienced this, and poor you because you don't have this. That's why you are entitled to victimhood. But see, we've been working with people for a long time, and my whole life revolves around that. I'm an artist, I'm a songwriter. I don't even like the word coach anymore, but I do that. I work with people, less one-on-one lately, more in groups. But really what I notice is no one that thrives in any area in their lives, whether that's in relationships or in health or just in spiritual well-being, physical well-being, or in financial well-being, none of them see themselves as victims. It's one of the first things that when people come to us that we actually really truly discuss this. Are you willing and ready to take full responsibility for your life, for your actions, for the outcomes, for your circumstances? And I understand there's a lot of buts here. You could throw out all these buts that say, but I'm on a fixed income, but I was a victim of abuse, but I can't do this because. The truth is, if you want to, you can come up with all the buts in the world and you will find a reason to justify why you're right. And again, if you believe you can or you believe you cannot, you're always right. If you believe you can or you believe you cannot, you're always right, right? Because whatever you believe is going to define your thought processes, your belief systems, of course, and it's going to bring out in your life what you believe. People really get what they expect. And so we want to remove for a few minutes here outer circumstances and go to the true capabilities that all of us have. Here's what I believe about you. I know what I believe about myself. My circumstances reflect that. Here's what I believe about you. I believe you are unique. I believe you have some talents and strengths and capabilities that only you can give to the world in the way you can give them to the world. I believe you have a unique purpose. I believe you and the creator, the prime creator, source energy, whatever you want to call it, God, you and God, the creator, have co-created your unique purposes for this lifetime. You came here for a specific reason. And I believe that you believe that on one level, but sometimes or often on other levels you don't. And here's what I want to say to you right now. The day you decide that you are not going to be a victim anymore, but a co-creator, no matter your circumstances, I understand. Even if you say, I'm in a wheelchair, I'm physically impaired. Yes, 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 and yes. However, if you look into the world, there are examples of people who have overcome any and all obstacles and live a beautiful, fulfilled life. It does not mean that beautiful and fulfilled looks the same for everyone. It just means they have decided that they're going to do the absolute best with what they've been given and that they're going to apply themselves in the absolutely best way that they can. That's all. It's just a choice. And this is what I want to emphasize here. It's a choice today to change your language. Change I cannot into I'm willing to be open to it. Just start with something softer. Change I don't to I might. Change I will not to I will. Begin changing your language and see how your circumstances begin to change. And the truth is, everybody who today, all the people that we personally know who are thriving in wonderful ways today, who are having great relationships, who are actually financially completely independent, and who are helping others, because that's really what all of them have in common. That's why we're attracted to them. They're people with with great means, with financial freedom, with freedom of time, who are actually giving so much to others. That's really why we're attracted to them, because that's how we vibe. That's how we roll. We believe when you have, you share. When you are fulfilled, when your cup is full and it's overflowing, because that's how you live, you give and you go out and you help others and you lift them up and you bring inspiration to people. And if you can, and if they want to, you can teach them how their cup can overflow again too, because that's our nature. So all these people that we are attracted to in our lives, that we're connected to, they all share that they have come from absolute rock bottom, if you will, having lost everything or not having even had anything. And they simply made a choice. They made the choice that they will not be defined by their circumstances. They will eventually define their circumstances. And that means that they're actually not willing to accept less in their lives than they can have. The victim mentality is something that's so engraved into our society, and it is for a reason. For those who want to rule us, It's super great that we feel like victims. For those who want to control us, they want us to feel like victims. Victims are powerless. Victims don't have a lot of energy. Victims don't see any potential positive future. Victims are like simply, reacting to what is going on. And this is what this nefarious power group, want us to be. The moment you make a different decision, your life begins to change. The bigger your decision, the bigger your impact. So what are you going to do with that? What is it that matters to you today? What do you think? Where can you create little changes today? I want to start with something that everyone can do. Change your rituals. How do you begin your day? Every morning. This morning when I got up at 5 something, which, on average, that's a late start for me. This morning when I got up, I went outside. I sat outside on the bench in front of our house, and I started taking deep breaths. And my first and foremost intention was to connect with this beautiful day, to give gratitude, thanks, to show my gratitude, to express it, feel it, experience it, connect with the Creator, and thank the Creator for expressing Himself through me all day today. Just give thanks, and it's kind of a blessing of your day. Well, that changes everything. If you start your day by pulling out your phone and scrolling through the bad news and oh my God, I'm, da 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 da, and I gotta be there and I gotta do that. Well, you set yourself up for a miserable day. So after that, when you actually in this beautiful space, you move your body, you do some things that feel really good for your body. Drink a glass of water, breathe deeply, maybe journal for a little while. Set aside this first 30, 40, 50 minutes, maybe even an hour of your day to truly give thanks, bless it, set your intentions for the day, no matter what you do. I'll tell you a story when I really should have forgotten about all this stuff, because I had been doing this actually for quite a long time, and I had had success, and then all of a sudden, through whatever happened in life, things got really taken away from me. And when I mean things, is the material things really got moved away from me. I found myself in a cheap hotel room at some point. Let's call it motel room, which really was, and really no perspective. I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't see how all of this would work out. All I knew is I'm not a victim. I felt like I could do anything, like all possibilities are there for me. I felt my purpose. I couldn't possibly get myself to be unhappy. And so I would start my day like this. I would literally put myself in the state of the flow of abundance. I'm always in company of great people. I meet wonderful people. It's synergies, beautiful stuff. And that's what I would do in this cheap motel room. I would journal. I would meditate. I simply wouldn't accept a lesser than the best possible outcome for my life. And so that's still what we do today and how we expand today. That's what makes our life beautiful. And what we've taught our kids growing up is that it's really you. It all comes down to you. You are the defining factor in your life. And while this sounds, and in the beginning, it sounds overwhelming. It sounds like, how could it be me? Well, it is you and the Creator. It's always you and God. But the thing is, when people say, God's going to fix this for me, it's really about bringing yourself into alignment with the divine will, with the divine path, and then taking action. Well, God's already put everything in place for us. He's already created everything for us. There's already everything here. We need to align with that. And that's where we come in. And we can't do this when we see ourselves as victims. Here's the thing. There are certain advantages that come with victimhood that people often don't want to give up. Because a lot of times people figure out a great way how to coast this victim wave. Because see, when they have legitimate reasons to be a victim, the people around them will treat them accordingly. Now, after a while, it might wear off for one person, but then you just move on to the other and give them your sobbing story and why you deserve to be a victim. You don't word it like that. You just tell them how bad your life or circumstances are. And they're going to pity you, and you're going to get attention from that. And there is a vicious circle here. So there are certain advantages. They're not real advantages, perceived advantages that people give up when they give up their victimhood. But that's just the way it is. And when they do it, I had a person very close, very, very close in my life, someone very important in my life. It's how it so often is with close people. They're also very important. And that person thrived on being the victim always. As far back as I can remember, always the victim, no matter the circumstances, no matter how many things have changed in that person's life, always the victim. Eventually, that person hit rock bottom. Everybody was gone because at some point you just can't stand it anymore. You can't, they don't really want to change, so they don't want your help. They just want your attention. So that person hit rock bottom physically, spiritually, mentally, and socially isolated. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with them anymore. That's when they picked themselves up, actually asked for help, actually began step by step by step by step. Today, this person is not at their richest, but at their happiest I've ever seen them. Today, this person has actually taken back power and control over their own lives and circumstances. And this to me was so beautiful to watch, because what a classic victim mentality is, a victim is like someone lying on the ground. Now you walk past them and you think, oh, someone needs help. I'm going to reach out and pull them up, right? That's what we always can do. Now, a victim that doesn't want to change will try to pull you down rather than helping themselves while you pull them up. And that's really how you know. So if you are not the victim, maybe you are enabling another victim in your life. It's hard to cut off, but it's important when they're draining you of your energy, when they're draining you of your resources, and they don't want to help themselves. That's when you've got to cut them off. And this sounds harsh, but this is the true teachings of all of our spiritual teachers, all of the Zen masters, and all of the because our spiritual teachers, they don't look like spiritual teachers. They don't talk like spiritual teachers. They don't need all that crap. They don't need the halo. They don't need the white robe. And they don't need the constant gestures and reaffirmations that they're spiritual people. They have applied and are applying these principles in their lives every day. They live it. And so some of them look like your average Joe. You might even find them in a bar having a drink of whiskey. But they are some of the most wonderful teachers we've ever had. And they've been hard asses on us because they say, listen, it requires discipline. You want to pity yourself? You want to call yourself poor? You want to call yourself a victim? Go ahead, but I can't help you. You got to want it. And whatever that is, right? And so today, actually, believe it or not, in the circumstances we find ourselves in as humanity in this world, it is the best possible time to do this because we're in such a transformation. I'll give you a very simple example, a very practical example. Look in the world today. If, let's say, financial success combined with your purpose, because that's what really matters to me, living my purpose. And through that, because I do what I love, I share with people, we help people, we bring music and we bring videos and we bring inspiration. We actually do what we love. And that creates, as a residual thing, it creates success and abundance. That's just what happens when you apply yourself with love and inspiration with what you've been given. But in today's market, look around you. There's a shortage of people who want to work, right? Everybody's hiring. There's a shortage of people who want to provide services, even as a self-employed person. So today, people are looking for knowledge. Today, people are looking for skills. Today, people are looking for wisdom. But a lot of people do not want to put in any work anymore. So if this is something that you want to do right now, if you want to go and help people in one way, shape, or form, provide a service, or you think you have a wonderful product for people, it's the best possible time. Because so many others don't want to do it. They just want to sit and watch Netflix all day or whatever, or game or whatever they want to do. So it's a really, really great time, actually. Transformational times always are. And we're also in a time of crisis or stagflation, economically speaking. And there's two ways people approach this always. There's one group of people, the ones who are defined by their circumstances, and they're the ones who pull back, pull all their energy back, pull all their expenses back, make themselves small and visible, and try to kind of survive through this. And then there's the one who, no matter if it's an individual crisis in their life or it is a collective crisis, they are the ones who are defining their circumstances. They're investing, they're working, they're putting love and energy into their vision, and they're thriving. And we have that momentum going. So I encourage you today to decide not to be a victim anymore. There are no more advantages to get from this, and become the empowered being you were meant to be. I told you, I believe in you. I believe in your uniqueness, your purpose. I believe that only you can do what you came here to do. And I'll say this very, very openly now. I'm selfish too, because I believe if you're doing what you came here to do, collectively speaking, our world will be a better place. Here, I benefit from our world being a better place. My children benefit from a world being a better place. Their children will benefit from this world being a better place. So, yes, I am selfish when I'm asking you to step out of victimhood and actually fully 100% apply yourself in the best possible way you can. This is it. This is the message for today. It makes all the difference. And go out. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it really helps if you watch and listen to other people's stories. Go out and whoever inspires you in this life, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on or whatever religion, it doesn't matter. Whoever inspires you, look at their life story. Look at how they have become who they are today. Most people who are very successful are so very honest about how they got there and how they at one point didn't have anything to show for and how they made that journey. And it's not about money. Success can come in various different forms. It comes through fulfillment, it comes through service, it comes through so many things. Just saying, go and watch something that inspires you or read a book that inspires you, and then take that energy that you received and transform it into your own powerful energy. And last but not least, I love that you're here. Also, we wanted to invite you because Kristin and I did our second ever retreat in this form, the Yada retreat. We just did it in April in Cape San Blas, Florida, and our next retreat, because so many people couldn't make it to that one because it was sold out, and it sells out quickly because we cap it, when we can tell you this now, at a very small group of people. 25 people, that's where we cap it, because that's how we can still stay intimate, personal, and really, really dive deep over 3 days, 3.5 days, from September 29th to October 2nd. We will meet again for the Yada retreat, the You Are the One retreat, and we'll meet again in Cape San Blas, Florida. And what we'll do is simply go deeper than we've ever gone before. We'll meditate a lot, but we will also unlock those hidden things together and transform them into something that serves you. Whatever is hidden that has been hindering you, we will turn it around together if you want to, and actually create a driver for your life. Create something that is inspiring for you and show you together. You will show yourself, really. We'll guide you, but you'll show yourself who you really are and how deep this you-ness really goes. It's quite amazing what happens when people show up there and they actually want to change. They don't want to be defined by their circumstances anymore. They want to define their circumstances. We've had amazing experiences at this Yada retreat, at the one last year in fall. So I encourage you, if this speaks to you, if you're inspired, and this is the key word here, if you're just looking for the next little kick and then you won't do anything with it, we're not the right ones. We're saying this. If you're inspired to show up for this, then you show up and you want to change. That's what you want. You want your life to become the best possible version. Then then you are the right fit for this. Otherwise, you'll just sit there, you'll get inspired, you'll have a beautiful experience, and 2 weeks later, everything will be the same. But that's not what this is about. So if you feel inspired to come join us for the Yada retreat, which stands for You Are the One, just send us an email to info@inspiredchannel.net and put Yato, YATO, in the subject line, and we'll send you all information. Again, info@inspiredchannel.net, put Yato in the subject line. It's happening from September 29th to October 2nd. There's only 25 people. That's it. We will cap it off at that. That's the perfect and maximum group size. And we just so look forward to it. It's an absolutely transformative experience for us too, because we dive into a space together. We create an energy there that allows everyone to truly thrive over these days and to discover who they really are. That's really how this works. So thank you so much for tuning in, Inspire Tribe. Thank you for being here with us. Please do us a favor. If you are on YouTube, please hop over to Rumble, subscribe to our Rumble channel as well. And please also hop over to Locals and do the same thing, simply because it allows us to bring out the uncensored truth-seeking content everywhere without having the big tech overlords put us down. Thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. And we believe in you with all of our hearts. We truly do. It's time you started doing the same. All right. We'll be with you again very, very soon. Be blessed and be inspired.